In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace the driver's side window regulator with motor on a RAV4 located inside the driver's door. To remove the panel, I like to use a trim tool, plastic one, and pop it off, set it aside. So now we're going to disconnect that main power switch. So a trim tool, bring it in there and pop it up. Don't have to really force it too much. It's little plastic clips. There we go. Now we have to unplug this. So you're going to look for the connector. You have two push pins right here. Squeeze them. So I like to take a small screwdriver, pocket screwdriver. Sometimes I just don't have the strength, and pull it out. Set that aside. Now we're going to move up to the inner door handle. And right behind here, this little plastic cover, I take a small screwdriver or a trim tool and pop it out. Set that aside. And now we have to take this trim piece off. So this is where I take my pocket screwdriver, and I'm careful not to damage the trim, but it's one of the only things that can carefully get underneath there. Lift it up. So you want to start at the top, because down here is a hook. And then just keep pulling it towards you, and then it slides right out. See that hook? So now we're going to have 1, 2 main mounting bolts, and then the rest we're going to just pop off. And the heads on these are a Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to take that inner handle, screw right out, Phillips head. Then right inside this hole is the main mounting bolt. And then one more right down here. And there we go. Now we're free to pull the panel from the little plastic clips. I'm going to start out here. I'm going to take my trim tool and I'm going to wedge it in, find a spot, and then pull. All the way around. And you're going to lift it up, pull down. Now you can see the actual cables right here. So once you take these plastic cables out of this guide right here, you're going to just grab that mechanism and give it a slight pull and pop it off. We can leave that attached and let it hang down. So to access that window regulator, we have to take out this little insulation. It's like a wind noise damper, and it gets pretty sticky. I like to try to keep it so that I can reinstall it properly. There we go. That's the nice way to do it. See if that comes off with it. Perfect. Now we can kind of pull that aside. Let's hope we don't get too much of it on us. Put that up here. Out of the way. So now that the plastic's out of the way, you can see the window regulator. And this is the mounting of the glass. There's one on this side and one way over here. So when you pull on this side, you'll see this little rubber door. That is going to expose that hook for that glass. So we're going to just reach right in here, pop this free. Just pull that little tab out. You can't see it. So with that being said, we have to take the main harness and plug our switch in. So you'll see how this connector works, right? Bring this all the way up and let it lock into place, or you won't be able to get it back into there. So if you have any problems, don't freak out as much as I just did. And it locks down in. So now, with that switch in, we're going to put the key in the on position. We're not going to start it. We're just going to put it in the on position, run, get this out of the way a little bit. And what we're going to do is look in this window, and we want to see that bolt on this side line up in that window hole. So you want it to be at a good level, like right there. And both of those are 10 millimeter. I'm going to take the key, turn it off, take it out. And with a 10 millimeter socket, I'm going to reach in there, take that bolt off. Like that. Take this one out. Now I'm going to put the key back in, put it in the on position, and then I'm going to put that window all the way up. Let it sit, turn the key off, and I'm going to get some tape. I like to use a painter's tape because it won't leave any glue behind. It's a little bit easier to clean. I like to put it in 2 spots just to be safe. I'm going to put the key back in the ignition, turn it in the on position, and I'm going to bring this regulator down. No glass attached. I like it to be right about there. And now I can turn the key off. Let's see if I can get that up a little bit out of the way. Now this is the plug for the motor. So we're going to unplug that next. You see a little tab right there. Squeeze it and pull. Then we have 4 mounting bolts. The other one is kind of right down there. So that mounts the area where the motor's mounted. And then you have 2 additional ones out here. I'm going to take the 2 additional ones off first. 10mm socket. And then I'm going to start at 1 o'clock over here. Work my way down. And 1 more right in here. Set these aside. And that last one, as you can see, has a cutout, so we don't need to take it all the way out. And that helps when you reach in and you just pull it. You can pull the whole thing right out. Fold that metal piece down. And there it is. So here's our new regulator with the motor, and we're going to take this bolt out and swap it over, just like we left it in, so it will hang inside that door much easier. Just thread it a couple threads and you're ready to go. Discard the old regulator. Now we can take this and guide it right in. Motor first. Bring it up. You'll see that bolt. Let it sit right in there. There we go. Take your other bolts. I'm going to mount up this motor first. Line up the holes. If it's loose, you can move it around to center it. Make sure that you thread it by hand. Nice and easy. And this one down here, behind the plastic. Okay, those are all started. I only have 2 left, and that's out here on this rail. Bring that bar down. Line up the threads. Just like that. 1 more. See the old marks? So we're going to be using those as a reference once we get the bolts all in and tighten them up. There we go. 10mm socket. I'm going to start the motor first. I want to make sure that lines up with the existing bolt holes. Just snugging it right up. And then I'll torque it. So there is a torque spec for this. Let's get this out too. Now I'm going to grab my arm in here, find the harness, and put that right through there. Let it click. Now I'm going to turn the actual key on again so that I can take this regulator and bring it down. Key on, accessory. And I'm going to line it up here. There it is right there. Line that up. And you can push it back and forth right now. And we're going to go up on top, undo the glass, and slide it down. Take off our tape. Make sure the glass doesn't fall down. 2 hands, we'll guide it down. And you'll see that mounting piece. You see these little plastic teeth? There's some on the other side too, so you want to make sure that it falls down right in place. Perfect. So you're going to want to make sure that both are lined up. 10mm on that bolt. I'm going to guide it through and start it. I'm not going to really tighten it yet. I just want it to be in. Make sure it's lined up right and threading. All right, let's get our torque wrench and we can torque it down. So we're going to tighten up the regulator now to the door panel. 71 inch-pounds. Let's get it. 10mm socket. And number 1 bolt, believe it or not, this shows a pattern that you're supposed to go crisscross. That's 71 inch-pounds. So basically they want you to do the mounting part first, then move your way out. I like to double check. And now I'm going to do the glass. I'm going to do it 71 inch-pounds. 10mm socket, same socket. Now I'm ready to put this boot back on. Now before I go putting the plastic all back onto the panel, I want to operate it a couple of times. So get the key, put the key in the on position, and we're going to operate this window a couple of times. Make sure it goes all the way up and all the way down. I'm just keeping an eye on this harness to make sure that it's cleared from the regulator and the glass. It's nowhere near it. Okay, so now we're going to turn the key off. Take our switch back out, pushing in on that tab, lifting up on that housing, and disconnecting. Let's go ahead and put the handle back up here out of the way. And we're going to put our orange weather coating back on. Just a wind noise reflector. You kind of see where it lined up. I bet you this goes right through here. Just like that. If you tore it too much or anything, please feel free to use some tape just to hold it there. It just keeps that wind noise down. That's the last annoying thing you want to hear going down the road, right? Okay, now we're ready to put the panel back. So before I put our panel back on, I always take a look, make sure no clips fell off. One did, right here. It's really easy how it goes back on. See the staging? Put the big gap right in, let it pop in, ready to go. So now I'm going to put the inner door handle into that panel, just by that. It'll click right on. Let it snap into place. Get the main harness, put it right through where that window goes. You're going to go from the top down, so put the guide in where the glass sits, bring it down in. Feel like it's in place. Look down here, you'll see the little pins guiding up into the holes, and then just give it a pop all the way around. Feels good. Now I'm going to put in the mounting screws. 2 major door handle screws. This holds the panel on. It's a Phillips screwdriver. Now I'm not going to snug it till I know that they all start. As if they're not lined up, you're going to have to take it all apart again. Okay, one last. The small screw goes in the door handle. Now I'm going to snug them all down, hand tight. Okay, we can put our trim piece on. That's the trim piece right here, and that's the bottom clip. See how it guides in? Let it slide right in like that. Then you'll just let it fall into place naturally. Now we have the plastic that goes inside the handle. And you'll see the clip in the front and the 2 in the back. So I like to do the front one first, and then push it to the back. You'll hear it click. And now our main power switch. So we're going to rehook this up. Look for the tab, that's the lock tab, and that's on this side. So this has a slide lock housing, pull it all the way up, let that fall in, and then the housing locks in, just like that. Get the harness out of the way. You'll see all the tabs, they're straight down push pins. So line it up, just like that, and then pop it down in. All right, last piece is over by the mirror housing, 2 clips. You're going to guide it right in and then push in. Now the panel's back all together. Let's give it one last test. Key in the on position, and we're going to put the glass up. We need to anyways to wash it. Got my mitts all over it. One last time up. And I'm going to put it right about there so I can get the top of it to clean it, and you're good to go. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.